former seamstress for the major Parisian fashion houses. I'm going to give you my perspective on the new Yves Saint Laurent fashion show. Let's start by taking a closer look at the set design. It immediately made me think of the typical New York architecture from the 70s and 80s, you know. Those kinds of office or bank buildings, the typical ones you see in movies from the 80s, with that sort of lacquered wood in a cognac color, also the way it's filmed. I really like this very yellow, very pinkish tone that gives the show an atmosphere from another era, and that's where for me it falls a bit short. I find that this show is a bit stuck in the past, meaning that we see the codes, let's say the codes of Yves Saint Laurent. Even though, for me, I think it's a shame that whenever we talk about Yves Saint Laurent, people think it just comes down to the eternal pantsuit with shoulder pad. Yves Saint Laurent is not just that. It's not just endless suits with shoulder pads. There are so many other things that Yves Saint Laurent did. The problem with these new designers who inherit a fashion house and therefore a legacy from an artistic director like Yves Saint Laurent who contributed so much is that I think people are waiting to see what you'll do. We tend to obviously draw inspiration from the original designer himself. That doesn't necessarily allow for anything new, because honestly, everything I see here, I've already seen a million times at Yves Saint Laurent, even if it's always a little different. But actually, the essence is the same, and I find that in the end, these houses with such a history end up becoming a bit of a caricature of themselves. So in this show, nothing crazy. Lots of women's tuxedos, big furs, and plenty of lace. I do like these dresses, even though I think it's a shame they're worn by skeletal models with sulky expressions. You just want to say, well, Yves Saint Laurent is supposed to represent the strong, independent woman. So why do they always look so miserable? So the lace dresses, they're pretty simple in the sense that the cut, the design itself is just so basic. But how boring! I'm sorry, but it's just so dull. Luckily, there's the lace to add a bit of femininity to all. But nothing very daring. I saw some beautiful things, but I was a bit bored in the sense that I wasn't at all captivated, nor surprised, nor moved by this show. I thought, well, yes, it's true, it's well filmed, it's nicely packaged, there are beautiful sets, but really, what's new? Or not necessarily something new, but at least something a bit daring. I realized that it's complicated. There are a lot of fashion weeks, there are a lot of shows, there are many more shows than before. It's much harder to make a lasting impression in fashion now than it was in the past. So obviously it's not easy to make a big impact every time. But here, honestly, I feel like it's just already recycled stuff. So each time you can change the set, change the bits of fabric a little, change the models a bit. And here, I'm sorry I didn't see anything amazing. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow for the Tom Ford